think it's because God encouraged him, and because Moses actually did what God commanded him to do, even though it was outside of his temperament, to be an encourager. And this is where we can help each other do the will of God, to help face the giants in our lives, to prepare ourselves against those giants, is to encourage one another. But what are some practical ways we can encourage one another? It's good to say encourage one another, but a lot of people often say, well, what does that look like? And so I came up with 10 simple ways that will help you be encouragers. And my task for you today is, after church today, don't run out the church building right away. I want you to take some time, find at least 3 people, and encourage them. Implement what I'm teaching you real quickly right here, okay? Because it'll make all the difference in the world. And guess what? When we're encouraged, we'll be excited to be like, hey, I can't wait till Wednesday when I can be with people. I can't wait till Sunday night to be with people. I can't wait till our midweek Bible study that we have at someone's house. I can't wait till next Sunday. Because we're going to be each other's support system. But here are some things. 1, simply stop judging, complaining, and criticizing people. They get enough of that from the world. And one of the things I tell people is, be that one person. You see the lesson titled, be that one person in their lives? Be that one person in their life where you're not stressful. Be that one person that they don't have to worry about being criticized by. Be that one person when they know they go up to you, they walk away knowing that they're going to be feeling better. Okay? Second thing, be patient and bear with one another, and don't be easily angered or offended, like we covered last week in 1 Corinthians 13. Because people who are easily angered and offended are often too focused on their own needs and their own emotions, to the point where they have a hard time seeing other people because they're too crowded with their own anger. And so one of the things that we see here is encouragers are ones who handle that so that they can see the needs of other people and encourage them. The third thing that I say is to invest in people. Take time to get to know people, because we accept encouragement more readily and believe it more with people who we have a strong relationship with. And when we build that relationship with one another, we know when people need encouragement. Number 4, learn to be kind and friendly and smile at people. Be approachable. Oftentimes we're afraid to be around each other because we don't feel comfortable with one another. We need to be comfortable with one another. That's why hospitality is so important. That's why kindness is so important. When we know we can walk up to anybody and just start a conversation and walk away feeling good. Number 5, give a gift. Give a physical representation. Everyone loves gifts. Women like flowers. Guys like guns. I couldn't think of anything. But we also do like trophies, you know? Why do kids get trophies at the end of the year of sports? Because we like those physical representations of saying accomplishment, value, love, appreciation. Number 6, give people compliments in front of other people. Because in doing so, that helps show people you're not just saying it to flatter them. You actually mean it. And when you say it in front of other people, that holds you accountable to the words that you're actually saying. And so I like to praise people. That's why every once in a while, I'll take a time on us before a sermon and just say, you know what, I've noticed that someone's done something and I want to acknowledge them. Number 8, show hospitality to one another. You know what? We love it when people take time out of their week for each other. You know, time is really one of our greatest assets. And we all know how cherished and valued time is. And when people give up their time, it's like, wow, they must really care about me. Because they already worked 40, 60 hours, and they're still giving me their time. I know they're tired. I know they could be playing golf instead. I know that they could be watching TV or wrestling, but instead, they're giving me their time. That shows people that you value them. Number 9, recognize the times when people really need encouragement. This is when we keep our eyes open. I mean, a lot of times it's easy to see when people are discouraged. It's where you look at people and say, you know, I can see that you're discouraged. And so that's when you be proactive and help people and you say, you know what, I want to really encourage you. Ask them, what's the matter? How can I help you? Let me carry your burden. And when we carry each other's burdens, that means I have to carry yours, but it also means I have to allow other people to carry mine. And that requires humility. But when we humbly encourage one another, we all get our needs met that way. And number 10, and this is really important, learn to understand, see, and accept the encouragement that God gives you. Because the encouragement that you give to others flows first from God to you. And the encouragement that He gives you, and the more you understand it, the more you see it, the more you accept it, the more it overflows out of your own life into the lives of other people. That's why everything begins with God. Doing the will of God begins with Him. Encouraging other people begins with Him. Seeing the needs of others begins with Him. And that's where you allow God to penetrate your own life, your own heart. Allow Him to encourage you. That's when you read the words of Jeremiah and Isaiah and you see how discouraged they were in their ministries, but then they would always have this sense of renewal because they would go to God and God would say, I will be there for you. I'll comfort you. I'll encourage you. I'll strengthen you. And from that, that's where Jeremiah and Isaiah and the other prophets got their strength and they went on and blessed the lives of other people. That's how we need to be. So a lot of times we don't encourage people because we're unwilling to accept it or recognize the encouragement that God gives us. But we see even from the life of Joshua in that first chapter where God is telling Joshua, be strong and courageous and do not be afraid. You can defeat those giants. And you will do it with very little violence because I'm going to bring down the walls. Giants will not have any bearing in your life. And that's how we can view life. We may have giants at work. We may have giants in our family. We may have giants in our personal lives. But when we trust God, He'll say, I can knock those down. And so, church family, I want us to be a more biblical church. I want us to be the New Testament church. And a New Testament church is one that is willing to lay down improper and hurtful speech. But when we come together and we just give each other the love and encouragement and support we need, and as a result, we all grow spiritually. We all grow in love for one another. We all remain faithful to Christ, and we all do God's will. So let's accept God's encouragement and encourage one another.